Well, hey guys.
Hey.
It is, wow, it is November 26th.
Not the 16th.
Not the 16th. That's an inside. They're not going to know what I'm talking about. We were like, before we did this, we were like, man, we haven't done a review in a really long time. And I was like, yeah, 2 weeks. Because it was, and he was like, the Halloween rant. The drunk rant. And I was like, yeah, 2 weeks. And he was like, no. Yeah, and I didn't realize it was the 26th already. This month is, like, flown by.
Very fast.
Very fast. Very. Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. A great Black Friday. Not that that's a holiday, but for the movie community, it tends to be if you're buying movies, like you might have seen in my Black Friday video. And I'm dressed all nice, my holiday attire.
Fancy.
So, we actually, it's funny because around the Thanksgiving holiday, Sean is never paying attention to these reviews as usual. As well as, you're not, you're like,
I'm waiting.
Audience. And you wonder why the big Jessup hates your guts.
Whoa.
And finds you boring.
Whoa.
Around the holidays, there's a lot of kids' movies. If you, like, go and look at the theater listing right now, it's like Arthur Christmas, Happy Feet 2, Hugo, Twilight, what's the, and the Muppets, of course. Yes. So, of the movies we're reviewing this week, because it's been a while, we've seen a couple things, but we haven't seen them together and stuff like that. But there's 2 movies we have seen together and 2 movies that we do want to talk about. First off, Hugo.
Hugo, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. This is not Martin Scorsese's
best movie.
Well, I'm not. You always jump to it. You always get. You're supposed to talk about it first. It's not his genre of choice usually.
No.
He usually does, you know, gangster films, drama, epics, biopics of people's lives, stuff like that.
Jesus.
This is a kids' movie. But
not really.
It's not a kids' movie. The general plot of this is it's about a boy named Hugo who grows up in what's the time period? Basically, like the teens. Is it the teens?
It's the 20s.
The 20s, the 1920s.
20s or 30s.
In Paris, France, in a train station.
1930s Paris.
It's 1930s, okay. Where he is an orphan who is fascinated with how things work, operating clocks. His father, played by Jude Law, is deceased, and because he's an orphan now, and his father was a watch repairman or a clockmaker, he aspires to do the same, and there's a mystery involved. And in the train station, he meets the likes of Sacha Baron Cohen,
is an inspector
who plays the inspector, the person who's hunting down homeless orphans in the train station,
sending them away,
as well as Ben Kingsley, the local owner of a toy shop. And what's the girl's name from Kick-Ass?
Chloe something. Grace Moretz.
Chloe Grace Moretz. She was in Kick-Ass as well as
other movie. I'm no help today. 500 Days of Summer.
100 Days of Summer. She plays his younger sister. So
let me in.
The general.
She was in that.
That's the general plot of the movie. There's a mystery involving something his deceased father and him were working on before he died, and then running into Ben Kingsley. I don't want to give anything away about the mystery, but in therein lies the problem, because when the mystery starts unraveling, it becomes 2 different movies. One being the children's story about Hugo and the mystery, and the other being the actual mystery. And it might be confusing when I'm saying that they become 2 different movies, but like the entire feel, it enters a realm where this is not a children's movie. This is actually interesting. I will say that if you are a film buff or have ever taken a history of film class, this portion of the movie will be extremely interesting and fun and cool to watch. And if you're a fan of French film, silent films in general, or in specific. But that's where then the 2 don't mesh well together at all.
The 2 could mesh well if you felt anything for any of the characters in the movie.
Yeah, all the characters.
But I don't. It just starts. You get a little bit of backstory, and then it's just like, well, I'm gonna follow this kid around, and he's gonna do stuff. Why does he never tell anybody like anything?
Yeah, it's really.
He's always getting chased by the inspector. He couldn't just be like, I turned the clocks.
Everybody's a caricature of themselves. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and that's probably why they cast it. What's his name? Sacha. I always say Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
That's probably why they because he's a character actor and he plays basically a French, like to a T, like a stereotypical French inspector.
His leg brace.
I don't know if kids are really gonna like this movie because it's just really boring to kids.
I
mean, I was very bored by the kids section of the film. The other stuff with the film buff and all that, like the film
was cool,
was interesting, but a kid I don't see finding that very interesting. So the movie's just very and long. It felt very long.
It's at least 2 hours.
Now, Ben Kingsley does a really good job. The kid who plays Hugo...
Asa Butterfield.
That's his name?
Asa Butterfield. I'm not...
Asa Butterfield. It says it's like... Asa Butterfield. That sounds like... That's gotta be a stage name.
Asa Butterfield.
Asa Butterfield. Hey.
Let's find out.
Okay, well, I don't care.
He was in The Boy with the Striped Pajamas.
The Boy with the Stripe. I remember that film. I never saw it, but I remember the advertisements. That was about the Nazi camp in Germany where he becomes friends with...
Asa Butterfield.
Yeah, Asa Butterfield.
So,
overall, the acting, Ben Kingsley does a great job, and the directing's not bad on that side of it. It's the kids' movie part that really suffers.
It's made well.
The performances out of even the girl, I've seen better, you know, and she's a good actress. So I really feel like Martin Scorsese just didn't achieve what he was maybe going for, or didn't know what he was going for.
Or was too, like, the cinematography is really cool in a lot of scenes.
Yeah, but it's just too boring to get into that.
Yeah.
So overall, I haven't really thought much about it, but on a scale of, you know, the 1 to 5, I might say 2. Maybe 2.5, because of some of the cinematography was good, and like the set design, the costumes, developing the period was really well done. Just all the dialogue in the children's section and all was just really... It was really phony.
Yeah.
Like City of Ember, I don't know why, I kept thinking of City of Ember. And I don't know
would say
why, but I like City of Ember. It knew what it wanted to be. This did not know what it wanted to be. So, and you?
2.5. I'm not, and
You were fighting for it too, because you're a Scorsese like nut. You're one of those people that just picks a director and is like, everything they do
is not
pretty
true.
much good. No, you do.
It's not
You were
true.
fighting for it for a while. You were like, I like this, and like I was like, I'm already done with this.
Yeah.
And like by the end, you finally came around. There was no fighting it.
Okay, I'm fine
But you were
with
fighting it. Like
No,
I right
but-
away, I was like, Scorsese or not, this is bad.
All right, but just because you're disproving your point by saying I didn't like it.
No, because even when we were talking about when we saw the trailers and all, I was like, that doesn't look good at all. Because it didn't. And you were like, yeah, it does. It's Scorsese. You know it's got to be. You used that where you were like, it's Scorsese.
I never
Yes, you
said
did.
that.
Yes,
We
you
watched
did.
the trailer and I said it looked like crap.
No.
Yes.
You
I got an
were-
argument with Tony about it.
No.
He's like, it looks good. I was like, no, it
No.
don't.
No.
No.
On that
No.
note, I'm going to eat some cheese whiz.
Well, I never said that movie looked good.
Good food, please.
Your memory is terrible.
It's
You
not.
know this. We always have problems with your memory.
No.
Because I'm going to eat popcorn now.
I remember.
You don't remember
With
shit.
cheese whiz
I don't
on
want
the
cheese
popcorn.
whiz on the popcorn. Regardless of what I said or how I feel about Martin
Popcorn.
Scorsese, it was a bad movie.
Some popcorn.
And I don't know why everyone loves it so much.
So that's your... Okay, so moving on to another kid's movie. If you can call it a kid's movie.
Yeah, it's a kid's movie.
It's a kid's movie.
The Muppets.
The Muppets, it's time to start the magic.
Wrong
Those
word.
aren't the words you know. It's time to hear the review on the Robinson Show.
Give me some of that cheese whiz.
I knew you were going to come around to the cheese whiz.
That's enough.
Cheese whiz. You can't say that's not good.
I feel like I didn't get the full flavor of it.
The Muppets. Start us off, Sean.
The Muppets is starring Jason Segel and Amy Adams and the Muppets themselves.
Chris Cooper.
Chris Cooper.
There's a lot of cameos in
There's
it.
a lot of cameos. And Jason Segel also wrote it.
I don't want to give away any of the cameos just because cameos are cameos.
Probably know about a lot of them, but they're still very well done.
So this movie... Now, I know a lot of the people that worked on the original Muppets and all would not work on this because they didn't approve of the script. They said it didn't feel like it stuck in the nature
of the Muppets.
of the Muppets. I completely see what they mean, in the sense that the Muppets are kind of really goofy, ridiculous, more aimed towards kids. And I'm not saying this film isn't, but there is a lot of jokes that are not... I don't want to say adult humor, but I just want to say they're not completely kiddie. Like, there are some jokes, like serious stuff, where like that's an adult the humor. It's not like a dick or sex joke thrown in at all. I don't think I remember any sex jokes thrown in.
No, it's kind of like if a Pixar does
It's
adult
more
joke.
it's more adult. Like Kermit and Piggy have a side story going on where Kermit can't. I don't want to say commit, but he can't commit. He can't long term commit to her. That's funny to me.
Because especially since he's wearing that like turtleneck.
Yeah, he's wearing a turtleneck, but it's a kids movie, but it's got more themes that are going to appeal to both, and now it's still goofy. It's still funny.
Oh yeah, it's still goofy and out there.
And there's musical numbers. I like musicals, and some of the songs are really well done.
Yeah. Songs were done by Brett from Flight of the Conchords.
Were they written by him?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't performed by him. They were written by him.
They were written by him.
That's good. I was like, I really like these, and there are different tones to them and all, which fits with Flight of the Conchords and all.
It does.
I also really like a lot of the they kind of upped the ante on the puppeteering. There are shots where it's like full body. You could tell they like did it in like probably green screen or something like that, but it's done well. Where they're like full, motion like of them running and stuff like that. So, really well done.
Never see the strings.
Never see the strings.
Never see the strings.
So,
and
it kind of makes fun of itself in that, like, it talks about the Muppets as if they were like a past fad. The overall plot, you've probably seen the trailer.
And
we really don't have to get into it. It's about the Muppets are supposed to get brought back together.
The movie references itself as it goes on.
Yeah, talking about it being a movie.
Yeah. You already sung this song.
But it's kind of that Jason Segel humor. Like, kind of how when, what was it, I Love You? No, not I Love You, man. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where he's a composer and a songwriter, and he makes the
Dracula musical.
The Dracula puppet musical at the end.
Yeah.
It's like you could tell that he had his writing behind it. And I really enjoyed it. I would honestly say, I'm not going to give it a 5, but it's probably about 4.5 out of 5. It's pretty damn good.
It's really fun.
It's not that bad. It's been a while since I've seen like The Great Muppet Caper and
Go to Space.
Muppets in Space and Treasure Island Muppets or whatever. A lot of people don't like the Treasure Island Muppets. It's usually one of my favorites just because I remember Tim Curry being really funny in it. But I really enjoyed this film. I really did.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. And it had a Toy Story short in front of it.
It did. I'm not going to talk about what it was about.
Because it's really funny.
But it was really funny. It was really good.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad they're still like doing these things. And plus, like that one I didn't know about. What was
The last one was
Pixar?
Cars.
Cars 2 had a Toy Story front on it, and everybody knew about it and what it was going to be about and all. This one kind of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I just sat down. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
This is cool.
So.
Yeah. Those
are the 2 movies we saw this holiday.
So that means there's one good one and one bad one to see this weekend.
You could watch Hugo. I would wait for DVD.
It's also The Descendants.
We did not see The Descendants.
We did not.
Though. That's the George Clooney drama.
I want to see that.
By the same people that did Sideways.
Yes.
So.
And Election. Election's a good movie.
Yes.
With Matthew Broderick. Are you going to make the cheese whiz explode?
It's not cheese whiz. This is generic $2 store snack cheese.
Snack cheese.
Snack cheese made with real cheese.
Ah! Snack cheese.
Toasted cheese. Until next time. Hopefully you'll have more energy next time.
Hopefully. I was better during the Muppets review. Slightly. Snack cheese.